For the knotless invisible part, I cornrowed 2 braids going straight back for approximately 2 to 2.5 inches, and I left the ends loose. And as you can see, the braids are close together to create a more natural looking part. And these lateral braids going alongside my hairline will also have the invisible concealed knot finish. As for the remainder of my braiding pattern, the braids are going back on a slight curve and some are joined together just to make it easier because I absolutely hate braiding. Now this video will demonstrate how to position the latch hook needle as well as how to loop, separate, and knot the hair in order to conceal the knots around the hairline perimeter. The braids that are not along the hairline perimeter use the twist and loop method. To secure the loop, tease the hair before creating a 2-strand knot. Now, for these 2 braids where the ends are loose, I had to find a way to conceal them. Yeah, so I took my open latch hook needle and I went underneath a braid on the right. And I took the ends of the braid on the left and I'm going to attach it to the hook. I'm going to close the latch hook needle and draw it underneath the braid, and I'm just going to pull the rest of the braid, and this just secures it in place within another braid. Now for the opposite braid on the right, I'm going to pull it towards the left and I'm going to position my latch hook needle so that I can secure that end of the braid underneath the hook, close the latch and draw underneath, and you can repeat this a second time to conceal more of the ends so that they do not peek out or show. Attention! You must know that the latch hook needle must face the opposite side of where you want to place the knot, and I will show you what I mean. So in the area where I'm creating my invisible part, with my latch hook needle open, I'm going underneath the braid. I'm going to use my index and thumb finger to create a loop with the hair. I'm going to attach it underneath the hook. I'm going to close the latch hook. And notice how I'm keeping my index finger in between the 2 pieces of hair on the opposite side. And so I'm going to open my latch hook needle again and place 1 piece underneath the latch hook. But I'm going to move the first loop that we attached down below the latch so I can close it. And I'm going to pull that hair through. This method was not too easy for me to do, so I will link the video where I saw this so you can see for yourself in a clearer view how I did it. But this was not at all easy for me and I did not use it. This is much easier if you are using this method on someone else or a doll head. But it just wasn't comfortable enough for me, but it may work for you guys and I just wanted to show it. But I will be showing the other method that worked best for me when I was doing the invisible knot method. Now, as you can see, I am working on the opposite side of my hair. So notice that the latch hook needle is positioned differently when I am working on the left side of my head. So I'm going underneath the braid with my open latch hook needle. I am going to attach the hair underneath the hook. I am going to close the latch hook, draw it underneath. I'm going to open up that loop so I can maintain that loop secure within my fingers. And I am going to take 1 piece of hair because you always have to keep the opposite ends separate. And I'm going to hold 1 piece sturdy, but the other one is going to go through that loop we created. And you have to twist the loop really carefully, girl, because I was struggling. And you pull that loop through. And then once you pull it through a second time, you can pull it in its entirety. And you just want to tease the hair a bit so that you can create some friction so that it does not become undone when you tie your knot. And once you pull the hair over, it conceals the knot and you can see our invisible part is forming. Remember the lateral braids that I showed you in the beginning? Those are very important and they will get the invisible knot finish as well. Notice the position of my crochet needle when I do this, and it's constantly changing, so I want you guys to take note of that. I'm pulling the hair underneath the hook, gonna close the latch hook needle, and I'm gonna draw underneath the braid And always be careful because this hair is so fine and it's not as coarse as other textures, and it doesn't have a defined curl pattern, so it slips so easily. And I'm just maintaining that loop. I'm going to take one piece of the hair and hold the other one firm. I'm going to pull it through the loop, making sure all of it is through, and then I'm going to twist the loop yet again, pull that hair through, and pull it in its entirety. And as you can see, I'm going to tease the hair apart a little bit to create friction so that when I create my knot, it does not become undone. And when you pull the hair over, you conceal the knot and the braid. Look at that, girl. So you guys are probably wondering how I did the back, because we joined all the braids together to create one larger braid. And so just pay attention to the position of the latch hook needle. It's vertical, but the head of the latch hook needle is facing downward. And we're going to do the exact same thing that I showed you in other parts. We have to take a little bit of the hair, and we're going to maintain that bulk of hair in our left hand. And with the loop that we've created with our right hand, we're just going to draw that small piece through, twist the loop, draw it through one more time, and we pull it. And once you pull all the hair up, you cannot see any of the braids. I hope that this is clear enough, but you do not see any of the braids. It is concealed. You can wear this in a ponytail. I really hope that this is visible because I struggled to do this. Y'all better see this. So once I was done, I just added a little bit of layers. This hair from the Janet collection is particularly soft and it's very voluminous. I could not walk out the house like this, so I had to tame the beast. Yes, I had to tame it. Okay, so I just sprayed some water because I try to steer clear of excessive product use on synthetic hair. And so I'm just detangling it with a paddle brush, which is perfect. And this hair is so soft and lustrous. It just glided through the hair. So different from Marley hair. Yeah. Now I'm taking this heat protectant from Fantasia High Potency Intercellular something. And girl, it has silicone, it has aloe, and synthetic hair responds so beautifully to this. I will use this on Kanekalon hair over and over again, and I recommend it for everyone. And so I blow dry the hair on medium heat first to do my first round. And then when I was much more comfortable and I, kind of relieved some of the volume and it decreased, I went on high heat. And look at that. Do you see? What? Went from this to this. Okay. Yes, girl. And I ended up with fabulous looking hair that you guys have been asking me about so much. And yes, girl, look at it, revel in it. I hope you guys enjoyed this struggle bus video. But thank you so much.